Good evening, everyone. I'm Dan Hogan, your host for Centel Spotlight. Tonight we're on the scene at Denison Stadium in Winter Haven for the Special Olympics Games. It's going to be an interesting program. We're going to talk to the state coordinator as well as several Polk County and Hillsborough as well as Highlands County coordinators that kind of brought today's event, as you can see it here in the background, together. As you can see, the weather cooperated for this year's Special Olympics. It was a gorgeous day in which to participate. Right now we have the pleasure of speaking with Ken McGee, and your title is what?
I'm the Director of Operations for the Florida Special Olympics program statewide out of Tallahassee.
And if you will, tell me how many people are competing in today's various events here.
We've had registered here today, Dan, right about 800 athletes. We have 12,000 throughout the state, but at this particular meet here today, representing 3 counties, Highlands, Polk, and Hillsborough, we've got about 800 athletes registered, probably showing up somewhere between 700 and 800.
What year did the program begin, Ken?
Well, originally Special Olympics internationally began in 1968. But the Florida program began in 1971.
And you've been associated with it how long?
I've been in the capacity of a volunteer since 1971, and I've been employed in the state office since 1977.
As far as someone qualifying to compete in today's event, what would be involved?
Okay, to be in the Special Olympics program, the basic criteria is that it's for the mentally retarded. Beyond that, they have to have been registered with Florida Special Olympics and competed at the previous level of competition. The prior competition to these particular games today were each one of their respective county competitions. After today's competition, then some of these athletes will advance to the state games, which are going to be held at the University of South Florida in Tampa on June 1st and 2nd with about 3,000 people from all across the state.
Now, can you give me some idea of the various types of specific events here today?
Okay, today we're running basically 4 sports. We've got track and field activities, we've got swimming, we've got soccer, and we have what we call developmental sports. In track and field, we've got the high jump, we've got a standing long jump, we have the 50-meter dash, the pentathlon, the mile, the 200, the 400, and the relays, and the softball throw. In developmental, we have some activities in developmental sports for those athletes that aren't at a functional level to participate in the normal Special Olympics activities. So they may involve with something like a log roll or an object swap, and they're for somewhat lower functioning athletes that we have, but we wanted to provide activities for as many people as we possibly could. Swimming is going to have 25-meter freestyles, 50-meter free, as well as the butter, the breaststroke, and the relays.
Is there an age category involved in today's event, or perhaps a grade school level involved?
We have age divisions, and the minimum age for participation in Special Olympics nationwide is 8 years old. The top age limit, there is no top age limit. We've got some people competing in our program that are over 80 years old. We're really excited about that. The adult population in Special Olympics is growing all the time.
And what do the participants win when they come in first, second, or third in any particular event here today?
Okay. These particular awards today are ribbons. The important thing and unique about Special Olympics is that we have divisions set up based on athletes' performance abilities. If, for example, within a given age group, there's some athletes that run the 50-meter dash very, very rapidly, they're going to be grouped together as opposed to having them run with the same age group with slower athletes. So we have ability divisions within each age group, and then they win awards within those areas, first, second, third, and then beyond that is a participant ribbon.
How is today's event being financed?
Primarily through in-kind contributions, and today there's not a whole lot of expense here because of the public awareness that we have with Special Olympics now. We have a lot of things that are donated. The tent town activities mostly are all donated. The facility here has been donated. The money that's being generated in the concessions is going back off to offset a couple of the minor expenses that may be for printing or possibly for a custodial person to maintain the facility for us today. But minimal expenses involved in today's games for what we've got here now.
And there is no admission charge to watch the entrance, is that correct?
That's correct, none at all. We'd like to have the public come out as often as they could and to really become involved. We feel that once people come here one time and observe or volunteer, we've got them hooked and they'll be back.
Thank you so much, Ken McGee. Right now we're speaking with John DeDement, and your title with the Special Olympics here today is what exactly?
The county coordinator for Polk County Special Olympics. Polk County is one of 67 counties in the state of Florida that is actively involved in Florida Special Olympics.
How many people are involved in putting together an organized event such as this, and how many man-hours are involved?
The man hours are probably not countable. In terms of volunteers, an event like this, we probably registered between 200-300 people today to actually make this happen. But the volunteers, the people who work behind the scenes, are really innumerable. They spend many, many hours of dedicated service to the program. And here in Polk County, we're richly blessed with many dedicated people who sit on our steering committee month after month and year after year and work with us to raise money and to make sure the facilities are available and to make sure that everything we do is done in the best quality for the kids.
How much growth has there been in participation here in your county of Polk this past year?
We were real pleased. Our last program year, Polk County received the state award for the county who had the largest growth of athletes over the year before numbers. We're very pleased with that. I think markedly too, we also had the largest number increase in volunteers and interest in the community, and we're very pleased with that too and very proud of it. And this year we grew again. Last year we had 345 athletes. This year we have 480, and we're very proud of that and very hopeful that that will continue.
If someone wanted to donate some money to the Special Olympics, who would they contact or write to?
Well, they certainly can contact me. I'm always willing to take time and money. I can be reached at the County School Board office. The number there is 534-1511. The extension is 388. And we'll be very happy to take their money, but most importantly, we'd be very happy to involve them in this type of service.
Thank you so much, John DeDement. Right now at our desk here, we're speaking with Jeff Millman. He's coordinator of Hillsborough County for the Special Olympics event here today. Give us some background about what Hillsborough County has done to help people get to this event. What's involved in the county itself to get to today's event?
Well, you have to have a county event before you can come to the district event. We had 830 athletes at USF March 3rd. All of those who participate there, aged 8 and over, can come here to Winter Haven and participate in the same events here that they did there. So we've got to inform them where it is, when it is, how they do it, and make sure all the coaches and parents get the kids here on time so they can participate in the same events as they did in Hillsborough County.
How many people are participating from your county here?
Well, we had 830 on March 3rd locally. I would think there's about 400 that come over here to this one.
With us now is Judy Warner from Highlands County. You are the coordinator of the Olympics down there, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
And give me some idea what's involved in getting ready for an event such as this one here in Winter Haven today.
Getting ready for district games has to be more difficult than county games, and it took 1,054 hours just to put on our county games. This has to be triple that for sure.
How long have you been involved with this event?
A year ago, December.
And what do you do specifically in Highlands County besides this?
Well, Highlands County is a small community, and that's what I do. I spend most of my time with Special Olympics, and I'm also a district sales manager for Yakadome Homes. That's my secondary job. My first love is Special Olympics.
How did it become your first love?
Well, I'm in the American Legion, and I was involved as a Legion auxiliary member serving cake at a bowling banquet. That's all it took. Love at first sight, and here I am.
How many people from Highlands County are participating in today's event?
We have 47 here today.
Have you had any winners as yet?
Oh, we've got a lot of blue ribbon winners, a lot of happy people out there.
How many did you have last year?
Last year, I think we had about 60. We lost a few today to another activity going on with Ridge area in Highlands County.
Can you tell me if anything unusual has happened during your involvement with the event?
Well, today I can tell you something unusual happened. The bus broke down, and we had 47 athletes with no way to get here, and we jammed them all into every car we could find, and we got here on time about 2 minutes before the parade started. But that's part of Special Olympics. You get used to it.
And where there's a will, there's a way, as they say, right?
Absolutely. We're here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we have with us announcer Denny Dunn. How long have you been with the Special Olympics here?
Well, in this capacity, about 4 years. Prior to that, I started off as when I was a track coach, working with them at the 50-yard dash and the 200-yard dash, and kind of worked my way into the public relations aspect of it, preparing for the meets, and then into the announcing, the opening ceremonies, and then the announcing of the matrix throughout the games to try to keep the coaches and athletes informed on where we actually are in reference to the time element.
Do you do it for the entire 6 hours of the event?
Well, I do it twice a year for 6 or better hours. So I do it at the county games, which have been held at Kathleen High School, and I think I was there at 7 and probably got home around 6:30 that evening. And then today, of course, I was here at 7, and it all depends on how smooth the organization and, of course, the responsibility of the coaches and the kids getting to their respective events on time. Of course, we have a lunch break in between, and it could be 4:30 or 5 o'clock today before we get out of here. I think probably the most important aspect that I've seen in being involved with Special Olympics is the joy of the volunteers working with the kids. You know, a lot of these people come away from here repeating to themselves, Lord, I didn't realize how lucky I was, you know, and I think that's very important. I just made a comment to one of the other directors that even with proper advertising and using the media attention, I still think we should have 500 to 1,000 fans here. If for nothing else, just watching. We're always short of volunteers, but just you know, the emotional high you get from watching these kids compete, and everybody's a winner, and it's a very rewarding thing.
Right now, some people in the background are receiving their well-deserved awards for participating in the District Special Olympics. Well, that's our show for this evening. We certainly hope you enjoyed our visit here to Denison Stadium for the District Special Olympics.